Everyone knows the bright side of Greek mythology, the gods and goddesses, the heroes who slayed monsters, the legends that shaped the world. But what if I told you there was another side, a darker side, one hidden deep beneath the golden gleam of Olympus, where death, betrayal, and destruction lurked in the shadows, where the gods weren't always noble and the heroes weren't always virtuous, where the stories that shaped civilization were soaked in blood, vengeance, and unspeakable acts. You think you know Greek myths? Think again. Take a step deeper into the hidden darkness of these ancient stories. Let me show you what history has left out. First, we have Pandora, the woman who opened the box that released all the evils of the world. But here's the truth. Pandora wasn't just a curious soul. She was a pawn, a tool used by the gods themselves. Zeus, the king of gods, sent her to bring suffering upon humanity. And when she opened the box, it wasn't just an accident. It was his way of punishing mankind for defying him. The gods didn't just create life, they created chaos. And the worst part? Hope, the one thing that remained in the box, wasn't a gift. It was a curse. Hope kept humanity locked in an endless cycle of pain, forever reaching for something that could never be attained. Then there's Medusa, the monster with snakes for hair, whose gaze could turn anyone to stone. But the truth behind Medusa's curse is even darker than you know. She wasn't born evil. Medusa was once a beautiful maiden, adored by all. But when Poseidon, god of the sea, took her by force in Athena's temple, the goddess didn't avenge her. No, Athena punished Medusa. She transformed her into a hideous creature, forever alone, forever cursed. And why? Because Athena couldn't bear the idea of being outshone by a mortal's beauty. In the land of gods, beauty was power, and Medusa's beauty threatened to take that away from Athena. The truth? Medusa wasn't the villain in this story. She was the victim of divine jealousy. Now, Achilles, one of Greece's greatest heroes. We know him for his strength, for his near invincibility. But what you don't know is that Achilles' fate was sealed by his own mother. Thetis tried to make him immortal by dipping him in the river Styx, but she forgot to dip his heel, and thus, Achilles was doomed. But that's not even the darkest part of his tale. In his rage, Achilles slaughtered Hector and later dragged his body behind his chariot. But his grief over the death of his lover, Patroclus, would consume him, leading him into a cycle of violence and revenge that would ultimately cause his own downfall. Achilles wasn't a hero, he was a victim of his own rage, trapped in a tragic fate designed by the gods. All these heroes, all these gods, they weren't just forces of nature. They were part of a much larger, darker game. A game played by Zeus, Poseidon, and the other Olympians, whose motives were rarely as noble as history would have you believe. But in the end, it wasn't the gods who were the true villains of Greek mythology. No, it was the humans, the mortals, who had to live with the consequences of the gods' ways. The gods were only playing their games. We were the ones who suffered. We were the ones who got caught in the crossfire. So, when you look back on the myths you've been told, remember, what you don't know is always darker than what you do. Want more? Want to uncover the hidden truths of these ancient tales? Then hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and dive deeper into the dark side of mythology. The secrets are waiting.